Now, Aoife Kieran's Newstalk reporter with me to talk about Enoch Burke. Aoife, can you talk us through the day's events at Multi Farnham at Wilson's Hospital? Has Enoch Burke turned up again at the school?
Yeah, well, he turned up this morning just before 8:45 with his father dropping him to the school in a jeep, and he stood outside the school building for just under 8 hours in total. You could see him throughout the course of the day pacing at different points. He went under a porch for shelter a couple of times throughout the course of the day, as it is a bit colder today. And from a distance, it also looks as though he's been taking out notes, writing down notes in a notepad throughout the day as well. Now, people are probably well aware it's the 5th day in a row he stood outside Wilson's Hospital School in Multi Farnham in County Westmeath. But the implications today were that little bit different, because he remained outside the school past 2 o'clock and he failed to purge his contempt of a court order. So he is to receive a €700 fine for attending the school today and failing to purge his contempt of that court order. And at around 20 to 4 this afternoon, he walked down the driveway.
Just in relation to the fine, and I want to stay on this point because I would just say I don't believe I should pay a fine to practice my religious belief. I don't believe I should pay a fine.
So you won't pay it?
A fine. I don't believe I should pay it. I'm putting it in the nicest way. A fine is a punishment in which somebody is ordered to pay a sum of money for something they've done that's illegal or a rule that they've broken.
And the decision to fine Enoch Burke was made yesterday by Mr Justice Brian O'Moore, who said it had to be done because it was clear he just didn't accept the validity of the order to stay away from the school. And if you hear him speak, he repeatedly says he's being fined for his beliefs. But this fine, as the judge said yesterday, is being imposed because he's not accepting the order to stay away from the school. It's very likely that he will return to the school on Monday, Kieran, and it seems he is adamant he shouldn't face this €700 fine.
All right, Aoife, listen, thanks a million for that update. Aoife Kieran's is in County Westmeath, the Multi Farnham outside Wilson's Hospital School. Frank Rainey, our courts correspondent, with me as well. Frank, can you just talk us through the mechanics of this? So a €700 fine every time he turns up at the school from here on in. Who keeps a tally of that? When is it paid? How is it paid? What if he can't pay it?
Well, if this was a criminal contempt of court, Enoch Burke would receive a fine notice in the post in the ordinary way, and he'd be given a fixed term to pay it, usually 12 months. And if he didn't pay it by then, the court could put an order on future wages. But the rules are different when it comes to breaches of civil orders, which is what this is, because they're not provided in our law book. So there's a bit of a grey area. But from what I've been reliably told, is that if it comes to it, the judge will simply tot up how much Enoch Burke owes, and he can then write a cheque or whatever to the office of the High Court. And I understand that money would then go towards the running of the court service. And the judge has unlimited powers, including imprisonment, if the fine isn't paid. Enoch's case will be mentioned again on the 10th of February, and he may be handed a bill on that occasion. The length of that bill depends entirely on Mr Burke, but by my calculations, and I've never been very good at sums, but by my calculations, there are 14 days between now and then. And if he refuses to purge his contempt before that next court date, he could be looking at a bill of just shy of €10,000, €9,800.
Frank Rainey, Newstalk's courts correspondent. Frank, thanks a million for joining us here on the show.